Hey, sister.
What's going on?
What's
Welcome,
going on
welcome
there?
back.
Yeah.
Wait till I ask you this question because oh my goodness, today was a little crazy. But welcome back to our Thursday night live with those two sisters. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments below. We're having a real talk between real sisters, and we're just about to get right into it because I want to know how your week was.
Yes, I'm so glad you pointed out real talk with real sisters. This is sometimes PG rated and it's sometimes not. You talking about two sisters that have grown up together, they're best friends. We be talking about stuff, y'all. So,
Hell yeah.
sorry. And it don't always come out so PG. That's all I wanted to say. So anyway, how was my week? I feel like, all right, look, I feel like my week was good. And I mean, I want to be blessed. I am, but it's also this thing of like, you know, just we're gonna get into this a little later, but like just all the work I feel like companies expect us to do, and like I'm thinking about how much of it is important. If you have new work for me every day, like how important really is the work you gave me a week ago or last week, and you're giving me new work every day. So my week was good, and I actually got a lot done, and my team is actually we're like performing at top level. I'm really proud of us, but
Yeah, you sound like an infomercial right now.
I am an infomercial. No,
You're performing
but
at top level right now.
we really are like
That's what's up.
considering like, but my week was good, but I always just feel like I'm like a half a step like behind greatness. And I mean, look, I don't know why, but that's just how I feel.
Well, I think that I feel you there, but I feel like even okay, so if you feel like you're a half a step behind greatness, right? You're still performing above average.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that crazy? And so
Yeah.
sometimes I take advantage of that, and I'll get into that when I tell you about my week.
So okay, well let me wrap that part up then because
Hey,
my week
Monique.
hey Monique, that part is it is what it is. Like I think my week was good. You know, it's about to be the weekend. The weather's breaking finally.
Smell like
So
85 degrees outside.
hello, I've seen some birds chirping today. So I'm like, okay, it's finally spring now. It's like double dutch. You know what? That's what the seasons are like in this area. It's like double dutch. Like, oh, it's warm. Oh no, it's cold.
Yeah.
About to get in. Oh, it's warm. So now we're in.
Yeah, we should be good. We should be good.
Yes. Okay, so how was your week?
Okay, so the week was fucking crazy. Okay. I normally go into the office 1 to 2 days out of the week. And sometimes, it's just like, I'm there for certain things and I'm out. Well, we have this big thing going on and I had to like do some stuff for it. And so in order to make sure the thing happens tomorrow, but to make sure that everything goes off right, I had to make sure that I was there the other days of the week. So I had to go in like
Yeah.
every day. Like,
Mm,
and then I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, well, how ungrateful are you? Because you got to work from home for like over a year and a half, right? So you really can't complain. Like nobody's making you come in every day. You just had to do this time because of what's going on. So I was sitting in the car, talking myself into that, talking myself like that, and then I was like, okay, but this evening, like that was this morning. This evening, it took me 2 hours and 7 minutes to get home.
oh,
I was in the car like I was yelling at people. Well, they couldn't hear me yelling at them, but I definitely cussed a few people out. Without actually connecting with them. But it was just it was just ridiculous. And so I went through all of these emotions in the car because I was like, then I got back to the part where like, well, I really can't be, you know, too mad because you don't have to do this all the time. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah.
But it was a combination of today was the craziest day out of all of them because it was a combination of other people and a combination of just me fighting against myself. Like, okay, you need to stop being so ungrateful or whatever. Everybody can't, do the schedule that you have. So anyway, so that's why I just got home like 25 minutes ago. But I'm just gonna stop being so ungrateful because
No,
it
I
looks like
feel
I go
you.
back tomorrow.
No, it's a couple things I wanted to hit on with that. Like,
But hold up. The combination of myself and the other people, I went to work, and part of something that I had to do was make sure this presentation gets printed and put in the right place, right?
yeah,
And so I waited until today to do it, which I wasn't even gonna go in today. But I
yeah.
waited until today to do it because y'all was still changing stuff. So okay, I printed that junk, all the copies that I needed, glorious copies, just for them to be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna
Glorious,
change this slide, we're gonna
glorious
do good.
coffee.
I said,
Oh,
oh, what are you guys doing?
what?
I was in my head like, y'all motherfuckers is crazy, but I couldn't do that at work, right? So I was like, let me just go get something to eat and come back. It's not my paper, it's not my ink, so whatever. But I did not think that I was going to be there as long as I was, and I did not think it was going to take me as long as it did to get home. But outside of that, I have everything I need. I'm here. I'm safe. I didn't get into no accident or nothing like
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to pee on the way home. That's
Oh,
also a
look,
blessing.
there's a blessing.
So anyway, hey Ellen, I'm
Hey,
finished living
Ellen.
my day.
I got like three things to say to that. Look, first of all, they ain't nothing but the devil. Because that's the same thing that happens to me. I only have to go in like once a week unless like there's people in the office. There's lots of people in the office. Because like one of my things is like facilities, like operations type of thing. So like I always want to be in the office when people are coming that aren't normally there. Cause like I'm the facilities person. What if they need a keyboard? What if they need a mouse? What if they need a light? What if they need the Wi-Fi code? Like,
Somebody
like
always needs
people
something.
are there that can help, but like if it's something big, like I just want to be there. Like that's part of my sort of like job description. So I get you on that, but it is so funny because I definitely be having an attitude on the days I have to go into work. And not even thinking of, I mean, okay, so first of all, let's discover this. I be having such an attitude that like when I wake up, and first of all, it starts the night before. Okay. Let's
Yeah.
just be real about this. It starts the night before. I be preemptively setting my attitude up for the next day. Mad. Like, now I have to go into the office with people. I'm not peopling tomorrow. This is sickening. Right. And then, but most of the time I get to work from home and like I forget how soon we forget, Demeter, because we were just working like for the back 2 years 3 years ago, we had no understanding of working from home the majority of the time,
Man, I'll
right?
tell you, I was advocating for one telework day at home right before this stuff
Oh,
happened. And I used to get frowned upon when I used to take advantage of said telework day. I'm like, well, you guys went for it. So I'm going to take my telework day. But yeah, I used to have to go in all the time. And now, like, that's the problem though, because now I have created a much better work environment.
hello.
And so now when I go to work, I'm less productive mentally, and because all of these other motherfuckers are here interrupting shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's pretty bad. Listen, and I shout out to my coworkers if you're watching, which you probably aren't, but if you are, thank you. But I love my coworkers, but everybody, it's like it's okay for one 15-minute conversation, but when there's 8 people there, that's 8 15-minute conversations. That's 2 hours. Like,
That's
first
right.
of all, I lost the productivity. People don't understand this, and
Now I just want to go to lunch.
this is gonna bring me into my first topic, but I think we have to really examine this, people, because COVID was, bad for so many reasons. People got sick, people have long haulers, people died, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
But I definitely feel like there was some good that came out of it. And number one, we get to test this whole work from home situation that works. And let me
Works
just tell you the
wonderfully,
difference
might I add.
between,
Well, you know what?
hello,
It worked for
amen.
me, but there was a lot of people who became depressed and things like that.
Yeah, I get
You
that.
know, and
And
like I remember Earl had to finish his school out, had to finish 11th and 12th grade from home. And I didn't really think about people outside of the household. I just making sure we was good. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah.
checking on him mentally. We doing stuff together. He motivated me to get outside more and walk, and we kept a healthy and we had a little bubble of his friends that he could still see, right? but a lot of people were saying that their kids were depressed and stuff like that. So I am thankful that we came through that with none of that. So
Yeah, and and I don't want to brush over that like it was nothing, because a lot of people died and a lot of people got sick, and I know some of the people who got sick and survived, and they still have symptoms like, just like different things that they've experienced. And so I don't want to brush over that, but just speaking about the work week and how work life changed, I just want to say that I have to just point this out now that I have a microphone and a platform, because I can't necessarily, I have said this to my boss, but I want the world to know that, let me just tell you how much productivity you're losing when you make me come into the office. Number one, I have to put on like real pants. It's a different get ready situation in the morning when I only have to shower, brush my teeth, put on some leggings and a shirt that looks like I got dressed. Okay. And that's only like a 15-20 minute situation,
and you're
right?
mentally better because you didn't have
Oh,
to suffer through traffic. And traffic is like, for me, 3 hours of unproductivity throughout the day. I could have been sleeping, I could have been eating, I could have been working out, I could have been, you know what I'm saying,
I could have been
working.
reading your emails. I could have been, fixing your printer. I could have been making you guys coffee while I was here. I could have been just happier, right? To be around all day.
And that's the main part.
And so
And
so for me, and I work close to work, so I don't have to deal with what you dealt with, but I did want to point out that you spent 2 hours and 7 minutes in traffic. That's 207. Those are good numbers.
I
Okay.
didn't
But
realize
then also
that.
I always point out the
That is your
207 because
birthday.
that's
That's
my birthday.
funny. That
But
is
anyway,
funny.
hey, listen, maybe it's a sign. But my thing is this: you losing productivity for me in the hours that I have to get dressed, in the hours that I have to get in my car, come to work, like the commute time, and then the social time is good for us. Oh, that's so fun. I get to see my coworkers. That's
I don't.
probably like the best slash not part of it, but you're losing productivity because when I am at home, I get right to work. I want to get right into the day, right into the checklist. I got my music playing in the background, so I feel
I'm
good.
setting my
Okay.
vibe and my atmosphere.
And then if I have to stay a couple minutes late, like, I'll be working till 6 or later sometimes because I'm like, oh, I'm in the mood. I'll just finish answering these emails. I'll just finish the spreadsheet out so I don't have to do it tomorrow. The fact that I get to be in my own space, and I know it has to cost less, right? Because like our office, they buy snacks and stuff for people. Like they used to have team
Oh,
lunches all
there.
the time. So I know it costs less. I don't know if they're like
I
saving
wish I
money
had
on the
that. I
like
don't have that
the
anymore.
power or whatever, but yeah, man. Okay, so this is my first topic though, is a 4-day work week. First of all, let me stop and just say hi to Ellen. I think we did, but I love me some Ellen. Look, Ellen, me neither. I don't get dressed when I'm working from home either. Like I put on a good top because see what they do is, okay, they be like, regular work days. Sometimes I'll come and look and be like, oh, I don't have any meetings today. Like, oh, I'm chilling. And then I mean a meeting will just pop up or somebody will be like, hey, do you have a second to you do have a second to video chat? And it's like, no,
Fuck
my hair
no.
looks a mess. My hair looks a mess. Get out of here.
I really need to stop cursing because my first response from working from home is a curse word. It contains a curse word. If somebody calls my work phone, I'm like, who the fuck is calling?
Let me tell you something. No one can hear
Work,
it
bitch, because you
because
working.
you're at home. No one can hear it. That's another great thing about it. You can
I'll
complain
be
as
like,
much as you need
oh,
to
this lady
complain.
again.
You can actually have an audible reaction. Oh, this bitch. And then you can answer the thing like, "Hi, Gail. How are you today?" But you
Yep.
can't do that at work.
Thanks. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, okay, I want to talk about the 4-day work week and how
Man, that
did
right
that
there,
work?
though. I feel that, Monique.
Oh, what she said?
How
Let me see.
dare they try to make people work like regular again? That,
Mm.
like, I really am thinking of what I'm gonna say when I leave this place because,
It's completely asinine. And
yeah,
your words will not be piercing enough. They won't get it. They hear all these words all the time. Like I just feel like they don't really get it. Like and the thing that I really want to get across with even my breakdown of like how much productivity you're losing is that you know I've had so many non-productive days at work where I'm just like there. Like, I'll just be honest. There have been times where I've come to work, like, you ever had that like Friday morning where you're hungover as shit because you went out and partied on Thursday night and you're just like trying to keep your head like level parallel to the ground and not to throw up. And then,
And be like,
and
I
it's just
hope
like,
I don't
listen,
smell like vodka.
I hope I don't smell. Well, you can't really even smell like vodka, but I hope I
Well,
hope I
liquor.
don't. Well, yeah, I hope I don't smell like liquor, and I hope that I make it through the day without throwing up in somebody's trash can,
Oh
because then I'd
God.
have to explain it. Right? I've had those days, and these were years ago, but I've had
I was
those
gonna
days.
say, when's the last time you did that?
Man, years ago, years
Hey,
ago. But there were several of them back then. But
do
my
you
point is this:
remember this was like back when we had that little dog when you used to work at
Morgan,
you was managing at Longhorn.
Morgan, the little dog. I remember
Do you
Morgan.
remember, I don't know where we went, but like you had this new position on how to like position yourself at the toilet to throw up. I was like,
Wait a minute.
yo,
I
that
had
is
a
like
Was it
awesome and
genius?
amazing. Huh?
What a minute. It was a good idea. I must have been drunk, guys. This lady, by the way, has photos of me
I don't know where that photo is, but
passed out with a French fry by my mouth. We've had so many horrible, hilarious moments.
I don't know where the
But
photo
wait
is,
a
but
minute.
I will tell you how it looked when we get offline. But it was funny as I don't know what to me.
So I told you about a new way to throw up.
No, you showed me because you were I
I was
don't
throwing
know
up.
where we went. We must have been like partying or whatever, but
Oh man, that's
I just
horrible.
know the bathroom because you were in my bathroom, and the bathroom in that house was in the bedroom, and so I was
Yeah.
just laying there looking, and I was like, "What is she doing?" I was like, "Oh my god, that is genius."
I don't even remember it. That is the saddest part.
I can explain it to you
I
on here
can't even
or offline. I don't know if you want me to say it.
I can't even teach other community members because I listen. I want you to say it. I mean, you gotta use your best judgment with this one. If it's something that I would be embarrassed by, you go ahead and think on that. Don't say it right now because I do not remember.
Yeah, let's move on. I'll tell you when we get over here. But I just know, guys,
What a
she
horrible
was
sister
she
moment.
was before her time on this one.
All
Okay,
right, listen. Everybody, if I had one of
hey
those Men in
Jerry.
Black things, I just want to just like flash and just reduce your memory for a second because I don't know what she's gonna say. But this is going back to our comment we made at the top of the show. You're witnessing real time sister talk, and so none of this can be held against us in a court of law. None of this should be taken out of context.
I
Like, we're
am
just
not messing
being
with Ellen
ourselves.
tonight.
What she say? Let me see. Oh my gosh.
I
I
gotta see
am
if she'll let me
too.
share it. And if she does, then I'll let you know, Ellen. Ellen
All
be
right.
sending me Nollywood films. She
Okay.
has some good taste or whatever, some stuff on Netflix. I'll forward you some of it. She'd be having some good suggestions for those kind of movies.
Okay, let me get back into this topic though.
Yes,
We're
yes,
just gonna glaze over that vomit method or whatever that was.
yes. We're just
We'll
moving.
come back to that. We'll come back to it if I feel like it's okay. But anyway, and maybe y'all should vote in the chat. Who wants to see that? I don't even know what she's talking about, which makes me very scared. But if everybody wants to see
Well,
it,
it
then I'm
won't be
on
a
them.
picture. It will just be me explaining what it is. They'll be able to get a
Oh
picture
Lord.
from what I'm
I,
saying.
I don't know if we want to talk about anyway 4-day work week. My
Mm.
thoughts on this are, do you think my questions are, and then I'll share what our organization does, which I feel is helpful. Do you
Y'all do good stuff.
think that a 4-day work week could work in most environments? If you do, like, why do you think it could work? Why don't you think it could work?
I think it could work. After a while, it'll be the same as a regular week. But I feel like it could work because then nobody do shit on Fridays anyway. It's actually 2 days of the week where shit doesn't get done, but Friday's the main one. So why not just go ahead and make that a full weekend day? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it could work. I mean, the reason why I think it could work is we didn't think that the whole world could fucking telework. Now, everybody didn't have a job where they could telework, but it showed a lot of companies that they can have in some cases even better productivity than having people come into the office. And now you've opened up the job playing field. I can live in North Carolina and I can work for a company that's in Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely, I think if that's doable, I think that a 4-day work week is doable. Like, what are you getting done on a Friday?
Not much. And
Well, I'm not going to say you can't get anything done because I'm going to do something
sure.
tomorrow, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. But I'll share a little from my end of the spectrum. A high crown prince, listen, I feel like this. If you are given the choice or like the opportunity for a 4-day work week, and then it's sort of like dangled carrot like in front of you, like, hey, listen, everybody, we're gonna try this 4-day work week thing out. If people aren't getting stuff done, then we're gonna have to take it back. If you present it like that, everybody's gonna do it right. And here's the thing, like, so I'll just explain a little about what they do at our job. They do a lot of good stuff at our job, but um they will give us, it's not necessarily a 4-day work week, but it's like we have every other Friday off. So like every, other Friday, it's completely off, nobody's bothering you. And then the Fridays that we don't have off are called no internal meeting Fridays, which basically means don't fucking bother anyone if you don't have to. And there's no meetings. There's no meetings allowed to be scheduled. If you have a meeting with an external person, that's fine. If you want to work, that's fine. Hey, if you want to work on your day off, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, Fridays are now being made like sacred, as like I use them as like deep work days. And then I'll have those days like we had last week where I'm like, I'm taking my Friday and I'm going to go hang out with my sister. Right.
Yeah,
but most of the time, I work on those days because those are the days where nobody's going to bother me. I can get into a spreadsheet. I can get into some research. Like I can get in and nobody's going to be like emailing me or expecting me to answer emails. And I'll tell you, like, yeah, it's made sexy by the idea that like, these are the rules and this is like a 4-day-ish work week situation. But it actually makes me, first of all, I hold that little job like a little baby bird because because that thing is sacred. And like, oh, you're not, other places ain't hitting on what this is hitting on. So I definitely take that seriously. And then on the day that I have off, I'm kind of just working anyway, just at my own pace and speed. Or sometimes when I don't want to work,
Just
I
probably
don't.
keeping things in line. You know what I'm
Keeping
saying?
things in line. I feel like if you tell your staff that, hey, we're going from a 5-day work week to a 4-day work week, unless you fuck it up, they're gonna work so hard. Like there's just no way. A lot of people are gonna work anyway, but the fact that they can choose to work or not, and it also gives you listen, the downfall could be that the ones among us who are not hard workers are gonna take super advantage, and now they going down to a 2-day work week because they don't work there.
Yeah, you always have those, right?
Yeah.
You always have those. Ellen says that 4 days works for her, especially if it's in the middle of the week. You get a midweek break to de-stress.
Yeah.
I messed her comment all the way up. I really can't read Ellen for real.
No, I get that.
Hey, Sheila.
I get that. It is good to have. I mean, I just think it's I think this is where we're moving towards, guys. Look, we about to be in the metaverse out this beer.
I'm not.
So look, I'll show up 5 days a week in the metaverse.
Like, I'm not buying no house that I'm not really fucking living in. Like,
I mean, it just feels like, look, here's where we are, America. Like, we're gonna work 4 days. I'm gonna work. You know what? Here's what I say. Faith for president. We're gonna work 4 days whether we're in the office or not. So if you want me to show up for 5 days, I'm not working one of them.
that's hilarious.
And that's real, because just like I explained earlier, like half that time you're talking to coworkers, I'm in the car, I gotta de-stress from traffic. Once I get there, I gotta get my coffee, I gotta heat up my breakfast, I gotta set my emails up, I gotta get my screens ready. I'm not working like 2 hours of the day. You make me come into the office, but if I'm at home, I'm right there at 8, and I probably won't leave until 6 because I'm grateful. Anyway,
I mean, you're in a better mental space. So Sheila says, I do agree. 4 day work week. I need to have work life balance, and I need 1 day to rest and 2 days to run errands. Yeah,
yes.
absolute facts. What's up, fourth quarter?
Hey, I like fourth
Hey,
quarter.
AMK. But yeah, okay. So go ahead. So you think so? You agree with this?
I
Do you
agree
see
with
it
it.
happening? Like is
I
somebody
think.
like passing any laws right now? Is anything on the table?
I
Like
mean, I feel like it's not going to be a law, but I feel like it's one of those things, where, especially because we have this, what do they call it, the Great Resignation. Like people, you just got to. These companies have to get hip to the game. Like
nice.
if you offer it first, then it's like a plea deal.
Listen, people will stay and work hard as hell if the benefits are great. If the
Yeah.
company is good to the person, like the other day, I got this package. I get random packages, like every couple of months from my office, right? Well, from my boss, she'll like send like a bottle of wine, or she'll send. This time it was like an embroidered blanket or whatever. And I got like a vest before, like it is something to like show your employees that you appreciate them, and the benefits really show love, like the benefits that you have. And I think Ernst and Young has some really good benefits because they have like unlimited sick leave and all of that. Like he says, I'm lucky my job doesn't stress anyone taking off.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the best benefit I like about your job is that end of the year thing.
Oh, see, now we about to look. I'm about to. So I work in HR, y'all. So I do this all day. I'm just gonna tell y'all some of the benefits that I have at my job. Some of the benefits that I enjoy
She's about to
at my
brag on her
job.
benefits, guys.
I am gonna brag,
They're
but it is.
bomb though. Just watch.
I have to say it's a very fast-paced work environment, but I do work around a lot of people who are big movers and shakers, and they don't ever really take advantage of a lot of the stuff. But I'm gonna tell y'all what it is because I'm in HR and I do this all day. So first of all, we have unlimited leave. Nobody's tracking your leave. You can take off anytime you want. And speaking of which, our grief policy extends to pets. And you can take off as long as you need to take off. If your pet dies, let us know.
See, I
Take
didn't know
off.
that. That's
Okay.
wild.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's ridiculous. Another good thing that we have is the time off. So like I told you, we have every other Friday off. We have the non-working Fridays. In addition to that, we have 2 times of the year that are mandatory for you to take off. The last 2 weeks of the year we're closed. Don't call nobody, don't email nobody. They're not going to answer you back till January. Okay, so the last 2 weeks of the year we're closed, buddy. Where to just don't even try it. And now some people will try it, and if you want to engage, you can engage. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, you worked, you're fired," or anything like that.
Yeah.
But most of the people respect that. Then we have a thing called August recess, where in August, you are required to pick your 2 weeks in August. Like they don't have to be the same week, like corresponding like week 2 and week 3 or week 1 and
Mm-hmm.
you just pick 2 weeks, and we want you to take off and just try not to work. Now here's what's funny about this, right? Because it's like, look, I've already described we have a month off. Just from August
That's
and
wild.
December, right? But and then we have those so it's 52 weeks in a year. So that's 52 Friday. Well, no, it's not 52 Fridays. It's 50 Fridays because we already have, maybe it's less than that. 48. Anyway, so you have those all those Fridays. Check out how so many people don't use none of that. They just be working. And I'm one of them. And it's like I'll come home and complain to my husband about like, oh my God, I have so much work to do. But like at the end of the day, when I go to work, I mean, I'm cool. I'm cooling because it's like it's pressure. The work is pressure, but the care is there. So it's
Right.
like, okay, well, I feel somewhat of an embrace that it's not like that it's
Hey,
not like working me to death. Listen, it works.
that's bomb.
And what's funny isn't it funny the adverse of it? Because it's like very few people take those times off. It like you have to kind of
If
like
it's left
fight.
up to you to use it, yeah, you
You
don't
kind of when it get to
you should.
August, we gotta kind of like fight with people like, hey, what are your days? You know what I'm saying? Like you
Mm-hmm.
gotta take off. So, but it's like because you have it there, you just never use it because you know you have it. Whereas if
Right.
you know you have time that you need to like use or lose, or you know what I mean, you're gonna take some of it. But
I have used to lose now, but before this, I did not. I was always taking my leave. I
Yeah.
used to look at people like, dang, you saved up all your
You
leadership.
said
You
about
ain't
your
going
leadership.
nowhere.
What are you doing?
Anyway, I just took up all
Anyway,
your
well,
time.
no, we talked about work too much, guys, but that was a fun conversation. I do want to move on to. I'm just going to pop this in here because this is a very short conversation, but it was like my side eye second of the week type of thing. Like it was just like something funny that I heard while I was getting dressed one day this week, and I was like, really? This just caught my attention. Apparently, so first of all, shout out to Alice Walker because The Color Purple is like 40 years old. Like The Color Purple came out 40
Are
years
you
ago.
serious?
I think
You're
so.
lying right now.
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
look
Now
that
I'm
up right
scared that
now.
I'm wrong. Please look it up. Fact check me. But I think it's 40. I mean, it would so I'm 40. So I had to think about that. Maybe it's 30 years old. No. I don't know. I see now I'm scared that I'm wrong. I might be wrong, guys. I take that back.
No, you almost right. It came out in December of 1985.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you
Okay.
might as well
Close.
say 40 years ago because that's
I'll take
right around
it.
the corner.
Curve my grade, guys.
Wow.
So yeah, so The Color Purple is a lot of years old and it's been remade all these times, like not remade, but like redone. So they had like the Broadway. I mean, I've never kind of like stopped watching it. Like I don't like watch it every year or anything, but it's always just a funny. No, it's not funny, but it's always just a good movie and it's something that I'll
I
never
didn't watch that show
forget.
in years.
I mean, I've seen parts of it. Like I've seen parts of it, and I wouldn't ever like. I don't know. It's not like that movie Precious. Like I could only watch it once. Like
Yeah, I only watched that once too.
yeah, the acting was great, but it's not a replay. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I'll watch The Shawshank Redemption every single time it comes on. I don't know
Oh
why.
my God. Is Monique serious right now?
I understand references 25 minutes. Wait, who says what? Somebody doesn't see The Color Purple?
Oh my God. I don't think.
Wait. What happened? You tell me that one time.
Is that what you're saying, Monique? That you've never, ever
Who is
watched The Color Purple?
Oh my goodness.
Bruh.
First of all, man, we're gonna need to pull you over and we're gonna need to see your black card. I'm gonna need to see your black card and your identification. Oh my gosh, that is horrible. Don't you ever admit that to anyone.
That is hilarious. I'll watch it soon. Just not
all
tonight.
right, let me stop messing with you. No, but it's a good movie. It's one of those movies that it's a good movie. It's not like something that's just like a Disney movie that you're gonna watch it over and over or something like that, but it's a good movie, so you should watch it. But anyway, the whole reason I brought that up was because Alice Walker just came out so nonchalant in her interview with Gayle King and was like, oh yeah, she didn't say sexually fluid, but she was just like, I didn't know she was in an interracial marriage, and when she was younger, but then she was just like, I just love people and I, love men and women. And she was like, I used to
Alice
date.
Walker?
Yeah. And then she was just like, yeah, which was fine. Like, whatever. Like, it's Alice Walker. Like, I don't know how old she is. I'm horrible as a journalist, as you can see. But she's older. Oh, wait, she did say she was like 70 something, or maybe
okay.
Anyway, because she had told Gayle, she was like, well, she's like, Gayle was like, you're such a private person. Why are you coming out with this new book and telling all your business? And she was just like, well, I'm on my way out. And she was like, what? Like you're only 70 something, like people live to be 120. And she was like, yeah, but and then she was like, yeah, I dated Tracy Chapman.
What?
Like, yes. I was like, what? So here is the funniest part about it. Alice Walker, who wrote The Color Purple.
But when did Gayle King interview her?
This was like on Wednesday or Tuesday morning. Oh, yo, that Jay was fire because I was watching that. Like I was literally getting dressed for work on a work from home day. And I could take my time. So I was getting dressed for work and I literally had to stop getting dressed because I was so engrossed in the interview. It is a really, really good interview. But what happened was she just let it out. Like it was like, I want to say she let it slip.
What is Tracy Chapman doing right now?
First of all, now I want to know too. Because they've shown all these old pictures of her. And I was just like, wow, she kind of This is so. Anyway, I'm not gonna say that word.
Okay,
I was
yeah.
just like, yeah, where is she now? And so Alice let it slip. They're like, oh, we don't talk anymore, right? And then Gail says to her, well, is Tracy Chapman okay with you telling everyone in your book that you guys were an item, that you dated? And she was like, Alice Walker gave the best response I've ever heard in my life. She was like, well, I don't know because I haven't talked to her, but I didn't tell her no. And Gail was like, well, what if there's a problem? What if she doesn't want everybody to know that she dated Alice Walker? She was like, well, if she didn't want anybody to know that, then she shouldn't have dated me. She was like, that's
Wow,
my
bro.
story. She's like, this is my story. And then she gave a little face like, okay, pumpkin. Like, this is my story. And so she didn't want
Yeah,
nobody to
I'm
know
gonna
that
have
she
to
shouldn't have
watch
dated me.
that.
I was like, so, like there was just like an information overload. I was like, how did this happen? What was the scene? But they obviously they had like a connection and they were like into each other for a while. But she said it was a short relationship, but it was intense. I was like, okay, Alice Walker.
I I don't even know what to say.
I don't know what to
I
say
don't even know
either.
what to say.
I don't know what to say either. And it's so funny because even Gail, I found herself in the interview being semi-checked. And she was just like, okay, Alice Walker, let's move on. It's like, when you feel like your grandmother's looking at you.
That
Like,
is funny. Yeah, that's why I
right.
was like, how old is Alice Walker? And why is she talking about this now? But okay, okay, I'm
It's
gonna have to
interesting.
find the interview because that is.
Yeah.
No, I just want to watch it now.
Hello, it's good, guys. It's not a waste of your time. You should really watch that. Okay, so the next topic that I want to talk about with you before, because I have so much to say about Ready to Love. I don't even know. I didn't set a timer today. I don't know where we are with time. Oh, I guess I could look right here in the corner.
You're so stupid.
Okay, so but I do want to say, I do want to talk about. I guess let's talk about this
You
real
see this
quick.
comment right here? I think they're referring to one of your favorite movies.
Morgan Freeman. Oh, gotta love that guy. I watch Shawshank Redemption every time it comes on. Why? I think it gives me a sense of hope. It gives me this idea that, like, no matter how bottom down you get, you can still crawl through that shit and make it to the other side.
Oh
Right? And that's I think what I get out of it. And the idea that like these men are in this prison and they found this love and this family with each other. And and then I don't want to ruin the movie for people, but like, one guy got out and he ended up offing himself, and it was just like, because he didn't feel in place in society, but he had found a family within the four walls of the prison. So there's so much. Every time I watch that movie, I get something out of it. Like I get something different, or I get something reaffirmed that I felt before. And I mean, even though it's not like some like technicolor, like Wizard of Oz type of like, or Disney film where you just feel really good. I feel good every time I watch it. It just gives me some sense of hope. I love the Shawshank Redemption. I will every time it comes on. I'm gonna watch it.
That is hilarious. My every time it come on movie that I gotta watch is 5 Heartbeats. But moving on.
No, you didn't. That is hilarious. All right, so now speaking of 5 Heartbeats, now we're gonna get into this music thing, and then we're gonna jump into Ready to Love. Really quickly, I just wanted to talk about how the world is opening back up, and we're in the DMV area, and I'm about to treat this summer like senior year because I think I might even get me a little like wardrobe going or something like that. Like how you go back to school. You remember that? You remember that shit?
You're in my head because I was walking to the car this morning and it was so nice outside, and I was just like,
it reminds me back to
it
school.
smells like summer out here. Like it's just something in the air that just made me be like, think back to how psyched I used to be when it was about to, like, the weather was gonna break, and I'm thinking cookouts, I'm thinking, like just fun outings. And now that I'm grown and I'm adult, there's so much more for me to enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yes. Nobody's gonna tell you gotta be home at a certain time. Nobody's gonna tell you what to wear. Oh,
no, thanks to you. I didn't order the automatic dog feeder, so I can just press the button and be like, I ain't coming home right now. Bloop. There you go.
And they be good. They still be waiting for you by the door when you get home, but they got, they fed. So just take yourself to sleep. Listen, I'm just gonna hate on your mother real quick. because
Sorry,
he used
hold
to.
on.
It's cool. That's King in the background, isn't it? Listen, let me just hate on your mother real quick, okay? Because I used to have. Oh, that's gonna get me into my next topic, but I used to love like going to Pentagon City or wherever I was going to get clothes and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear the shit out of this outfit." And your mother used to make me like. First of all, try on the clothes in front of her when I got home, and then she would take stuff back. She would take stuff back like
You
that's
used
too
to be
revealing.
mad as
I'm
I don't
taking
know
that
what
back.
too.
Like that's why I got it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, this is the weather that I remember where my clothes would be getting taken back because it's like this short skirt is not being worn to school. It is inappropriate. Whatever. So that's the. I'm not gonna wear anything inappropriate, mom. But this was this is what this weather reminds me of. And let me just get into this. We have so many people coming to town. Like, I think things are about to open up. I would like to let y'all speak in the comments about. Okay, first of all, fourth quarter said, growing up, thought the Five Heartbeats was a real group. So, me too. Well, so first of all, aren't they? Aren't they now? That's
Oh
what I'm
my
gonna.
gosh.
That's what I'm gonna tell my kids. So
Oh
anyway,
my gosh.
So, Forrest Gump. Oh, that is a good movie. That is a really good movie. Okay, so anyway, I just want everybody to talk about in the comments if you can, like, whether you're going to buy a back to school wardrobe for this summer because it's back to school summer type of thing this summer. Like, we haven't been out in 2 to 3 years. Like, are you getting a back to school wardrobe for the summer? Because this is
Now
like
I
you
am.
stepping out. First
Since
time
you
people
said that.
seeing you. Do you just I just want to take you back for a second. Do you remember the time when you would have your back to school? Here's the real flex. When you would go and grab your back to school clothes, right? So you got that whole wardrobe off to the side, and you're like, I'm not even gonna wear. You remember how we used to do to me? I'm not wearing none of my new shit this first week. Okay. I'm wearing
Let
all of my
everybody
old
wear their new
shit.
shit. Then I'm gonna bust out with my
Wearing
new
all my
shit.
old shit. Wearing all my old shit this week. I'm gonna watch you guys. I'm gonna see what you got. And then next week, when your Air Force Ones are dirty, that's what I'm gonna break out. My new shit. So anyway, no, I thought that was funny. Anyway, I want to talk to everybody about who's coming to town this summer. We got Kevin Hart, we got Chris Rock. Okay, not gonna talk about that. Charlie Wilson, okay, is coming. Nick Cannon, MTV Wildin' Out is coming to Columbia, Maryland. I think that's big because I've
Really?
never seen Wildin' Out
When?
live. So let me see because I'm not
I
the
might
best
go to that.
journalist. Ricky Smiley's going to be at the National Harbor. Okay, so let me just answer your question real quick. Nick Cannon is going to be at the Merriweather Post Pavilion Saturday, May 28th.
Okay. I might go to that.
And that's going to be the Wild and Outcast.
That
So it's
sounds
not just Nick
interesting.
Cannon.
They're doing like
Isn't
a
that fun?
whole Wild and Out show.
Apparently it says in Nick Cannon presents MTV Wildin' Out live. And so listen, all these things, guys, you get to wear your back to summer clothes. We're gonna call it back to summer.
Stop, bro. Back to summer.
You don't gotta get rid of no COVID weight. That's you. Look, let me tell you something. I ain't gonna say that. You knew what I was about to say. Listen, we all got this COVID weight and we still look good. You better bring that COVID weight out and you a new outfit and we're going to celebrate you because forget that COVID weight. Okay, then we have Alicia Keys is coming this summer.
Bad.
Okay, nobody wants to hear this, but Sesame Street Live is coming to
They
Fairfax,
still do
Virginia.
Sesame Street Live?
And I
Oh
think I'm
my
gonna be there.
goodness.
I think I might be there. Okay, so I'm not gonna go here, but this is my favorite group. Bone Thugs and Harmony are coming to Charlestown, West Virginia. So sorry guys, love ya, but I won't be there.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
And then
I'm
yeah,
good.
so that's it. And the Beebs is gonna be in DC too. Justin
okay.
Bieber. I won't go to that
Okay.
either. But I love the Biebs. But look, this is just just like the May and June lineup. I feel like, obviously things are gonna get added in. We're gonna see lots of people just
Outside
out
about to
and
be on and
about.
open. It's about to be, this summer is about to be crazy. All I'm looking for, look, I'm looking for some bomb cookouts. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And some
I'll
nice
kick those
little,
off.
like, waterside events. That's what
Yeah.
I'm looking for.
Okay. I think we can make that happen.
Definitely.
I think we can make that happen. Okay, so right before we jump into Ready to Love, because I have so much to say about Ready to Love.
Okay.
I want to talk about something that is really on my mind, which is Chloe Bailey.
Okay. She just came out with something, didn't she?
She just came out with her new single called "Treat Me,"
I haven't
and
heard
she
of
had
it.
another since a follow up to her single "Have Mercy." I love me some Chloe Bailey. I love her. I love her. I love her. I'm pretty disturbed by these weigh-ins from people saying that she's too sexy and she's
How old is she now?
First of all, she's got to be like 23. You asking me all the good questions that I have no answers to. First of all, she's under 25, okay? And I just wanted to okay, so there's a tragedy here that I'm going to address in a second. But my thoughts about her are that she's under 25. Like, she has this body. Like, let's not forget that sexy is a blessing and the girl is bad. Like, why was she okay, I just got to be real ratchet real quick. Um if you had a body like that, why would you cover it up? Why would you? What would be the advantage for you if if your cheeks are of a certain weight? Okay,
You are
right?
so
Like
funny right
you
now.
want to shake them. It's
Bro,
just the
you have
way
to
it
stop
happens.
doing this. Seriously.
Sorry, that's it.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, you were talking to King, or you were talking to me?
No, I was talking to King, jumping up here. He keeps jumping on my lap. But I don't understand, because she's a grown woman,
Hello.
and like, what, you just want her to cover her body? What about all the other women running around dressing like they want to dress? So
Exactly. And I think it was like Dua Lipa or somebody who I don't have music of, was out there in this like scantily clad whatever lingerie. I mean, we've seen Britney Spears do it. We've seen lots of girls do it. We've seen lots of guys do it. And it's fine for them to do that. Like, I don't have a problem with them doing that stuff either. It's just creative expression. But it just if for some reason it's like it's when she does it, it gets so much attention and it's so awful. And I just feel like it's because Black women's bodies are like, people are afraid of Black women's bodies. I think that's my take on it. I don't have any like necessarily like proof that I'm going to present to the court, but I just feel like when it comes to like a voluptuous Black woman, like, people are so afraid because they're, first of all, if it's men or who knows, I think they're turned on and they're scared of that because it's like, oh my God, why is she showing her body like this? Oh,
yeah.
let me hide
And you
myself.
know what? And I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but it's certain areas that certain situations that I go into in life that I'm like, not ashamed of my body, but I'm like, I know that it's standing out, and people are like, it's funny though, because it's only certain places where I go to, and I'll be like, oh, I can't wear this because it's going to, look
Cause
unprofessional or
attention.
whatever.
It's going to cause attention because Black women's bodies are banging. I just want to be the first person to just stand up and say that. And then I'm going to get into the tragedy in a second, but I'm just laughing at Ellen over here. She said,
Ellen
that's
plays.
why I'm fat. God knew I'd be showing off. I'd be showing off anyway, and I'm fat too, Ellen.
Oh my gosh.
But that's okay. So anyway, here's the deal. I feel like, yeah, what is that in the back of our minds? I feel as Black women that make us feel like, oh, I need to cover up because I could be a distraction to someone else. That's their distraction. I'm not saying like I want all the attention or whatever like that. Like, and I'm talking out of
But
side of
like,
my
it
neck.
can be a same outfit.
Yeah.
But you can't wear it because, well, not you can't wear it. You can wear it. There's people who just be like, fuck it. But you can
wouldn't
look
feel
at the top and
comfortable.
you be like, I couldn't wear that in here because, you know what I mean?
No, I feel you. Somebody just made a comment that was hilarious and true. Demita, you get attention wherever you go, Demita.
Hey,
Yes, she
Noel.
does. So yeah, I feel like, look, yeah, I'm talking on the side of my neck because yeah, I won't wear like leggings out in public or whatever, like, because I do feel like, yeah, that's gonna be an attention getter. And also, like, me and James have a rule: he ain't wearing no sweatpants out in public, and I ain't wearing no leggings out in public. But
Now
that's
I
just
will wear my workout clothes if I'm
of
about to go
course.
out or whatever, but I remember at like this one job I had, this girl had on some tights and she had on a blazer. Now she looked nice, but she just didn't have the bumps in the same places. And I was like, if I came in here in that, they'd be like, what are you doing right now?
But even though she has those bumps, like, she could have probably been insecure about it too. And this is what I'm saying. When I'm bringing this whole topic up, is like, why is the narrative this way? Where when Black women are, and look, this is the point I'm making, because we had this whole thing with about Lizzo a few years ago, where everybody was so offended that Lizzo was like being sexy and shaking her body, and she's not a size 2 or 4 or 8, and people were pissed off about that. And then here you have a Chloe Bailey who's obviously all the way in shape, who's obviously sexy
And
and
you have a problem
blessed,
with that
and
too?
you have a problem with that too. It's just like, this is the thing you probably want to see. If you didn't like to see Lizzo, then this is what you were waiting for. Like, why do you have a problem with that too? And I mean, I'm kind of just grouping all society together, but it's just like, look, here's how I feel about it, and then I'm gonna get into my tragedy in this situation. Number one is, she looks good, guys. Sexy is a blessing. Like, whoever's out there complaining that she's too sexy, you need to just have several seats, because she's gonna be just as sexy with the pantsuit on. And so what? If she want to shake it, she can shake it. It's hers. The second thing that the thing that I think is tragic is that this girl is beyond talented. I don't even just point to talent at this point. She's very skilled. Like, the things that she's doing with her music is beyond. Like, I'm looking at her like she could be the next Prince, and I don't even want to put her in a box like that. Where it's like, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because she is a musician. She's plays the piano. She plays the guitar. She's on the beat machine. If you listen to some of the things that she does with her voice, she has range up top. She has range down bottom. The choices of the notes that she chooses is wild. And then she has these chords. If you listen to Treat Me, okay, and this is the real thing that got me real upset, why I wanted to even bring this whole thing up. If you listen to the song Treat Me, there's the, like, the first verse, and I feel like she's kind of playing a little bit in the beginning, right? Like, oh, this is fun. And then when you get to that third verse, and the whole beat and the musician, like the chords, everything, the whole beat and the music drops, and she's just doing like a vocal experience for us.
Okay.
It's sick. If you just listen to the vocals, and I mean, she's got some money in her camp. I don't know if she has background vocalists on this or whatever, but the way it was produced, the way it is as a record, that third verse is something that we have not witnessed.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to it tonight.
Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna listen to it.
If you just listen to how sick somebody's mind has to be in order to put those chords together.
I mean, Prince, those are big shoes to fill.
I mean, they are. They are. And I don't want to
that she had to step over to get to that. Like, who, like, I don't know, sis. I don't know, man.
I get it. And I'm not saying that she's Prince right now.
Okay.
I'm saying she could be the next Prince with the way that she's performing. And I don't know this, but if she's writing this stuff, like, she's starting off well. I'm not saying she's written some poetry or anything like that, but if she's writing this stuff, she's starting off well.
When we first were seeing them or whatever, I used to watch Hot Damn I Rock. Like, I've always been into YouTube. I used to watch Jerry Levine and Hot Damn I Rock, which Jerry has an ASMR page now, getting like millions of views of people just watching him eat like things that look edible and like McDonald's and stuff like that. And his wife has, they got a couple pages. And then Hot Damn I Rock, he was kind of out there. He was kind of back again. But I remember he did a video with them coming up to his car, with him in the car. And they were singing. They were little kids.
Oh wow, he did do that. Man, YouTube has listen.
Wow.
YouTube has come a long way. Do you remember when we
Not
used
How
to
Did My
watch?
Rap. I'm sorry. Spoken Reasons. Spoken Reasons.
You know
He's
who we
the other
used to
guy.
watch? Three Vent. And what's her name?
I
She's in
do
Atlanta
remember that.
now. Oh my gosh. And I don't even know where they are now. Like I know the one girl's in Atlanta, but oh man, YouTube has been around for a minute. We've had some fun times on YouTube. Anyway, so closing this point out, it would be a real tragedy if this whole sexy gate it will overtake the attention that people could pay to her vocals and
Yeah, she
her
can sing.
ear. It's really her ear. Like her vocals are great. If if you kind of get a chance to like look at some of the stuff she does this Instagram thing where she just like cover songs and she just be playing around with beats and her vocals are great. It's undeniable that her vocals are great. But this is the reason why I liken her to Prince. It's not about her vocals, it's about her ear. The things that she's bringing out in this music, the sounds that she's creating beyond like I said, her vocals are great. She cannot be touched with that, right? But the sounds that she's bringing out in the tracks, in the music, the sounds, the atmospheres that she's creating with the music is it just reminds me of something Prince like.
Okay, I'm
So,
gonna give this song a
and I
listen
don't want to,
tonight. A couple listens, because I
over.
like to listen. I like to listen
Yeah.
to the song a few times before I. Do you still have that track number 7 thing? Remember how we used to be like every song
Yes.
track number 7 ends up being fire?
I
But
definitely do. But see, guess what happened over since then? People don't come out with albums no more. They just keep
facts.
coming out with singles. So we can't ever test that theory these days, except for when you have like a Jay-Z or somebody who comes out
Yeah,
with a full
somebody who
album.
actually drops
The
track
track number 7 on every album is
records
always fire. It's
album.
just it's not felt me wrong. Okay, so then last thing I want to say about this whole thing is just really the sexy talk and the fact that like we accepted so many people like being sexy, but then we didn't accept other people like that whole D'Angelo video, the Untitled video. We
That
accepted that.
D'Angelo video, yeah.
What you gonna
See,
say?
the thing I have to say about that though is like sexy is subjective, so they'll never be able to like smite someone with that and say, okay, well, no sexiness here, because you can't put a label like you can't put a finger on, like you can see somebody and say they're sexy, but sexy is subjective. But it's like I mean, men can be sexy too, so it's like I don't know, maybe they're harping on her because of her age or whatever, but
Perhaps, but then I would bring up the whole LL Cool J thing because like I don't know, because I was young when LL Cool J was coming up, and I do remember some of our aunts being like oh my god, he's humping people on stage. But then when Little Kim came out, I feel like it was more of a roar of like, stop her.
Wait, I do remember that about LL Cool J.
Yeah, don't you remember some of our
when
aunts?
you said that?
Hey,
And that
Carter
was
sisters.
years ago. That
Hey,
was so.
Shout
Oh
out
my
to the
God.
Carter sisters. Shout out
That
to
was
Aunt Pat.
years ago.
Shout out to Aunt Pat because she took us to that one concert
She
with the
did.
Ghetto Boys and all that stuff we weren't supposed to be watching. We weren't supposed to be seeing none of those people on stage. But she took us to get snacks and everything from the Kmart before that. Shout out to Aunt Pat. Loving that lady. Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, so if we have a problem with Chloe
Yeah.
Bailey, then we should have a problem with D'Angelo. We should have a problem with LL Cool J. We should have a problem with,
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many things in between those things that you named, right? Like, I mean, even like it's 2022. We are seeing everything that you've ever even had a thought of. Wouldn't it be funny if this was on TV, or this would never be on TV? Like, I have seen it all. You know what I'm saying? Like the little Nas stuff. Like that was interesting.
Oh yeah, I have feelings about Little Nas too, Little Nas X too, but I'll save those for another show.
I remember I was just watching Eric was it the hip hop preacher.
She said, "Leave the men out of this, please."
But I was just watching ET, and he was. Oh, go ahead.
Go no. You go.
I was just watching ET this morning, and he was talking about I forgot my thought just that quick. Anyway, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Well, I'll say this because you were watching ET this morning, but hopefully that comes back to you because I just wanted to give a shout out to Noel. Noel, you listen, buddy.
Okay, so
You want
Noel, I met Noel this weekend
to?
at
Okay,
the
I was gonna
event I
say, do
told
you
you that
want
I
a
was going
phone
to.
call? Like,
So
who was he not?
I'll have to fill
Yeah.
you in on how that went. It was good.
Okay, that's cool. All right, I like Noel then. I was just like, this guy's in here. He's dropping lines. He's
That's
dropping
true.
bars. Um, I think it's because we watched her grow up. It's hard to let them be adults. That is true.
That's true. They
I
were just
can't
kids when that
lie.
happened,
That's
when
true.
they
That
came
is
out.
true. When they came out, they were kids, and we kind of got used to that. And now it's like, what? I feel like maybe Zendaya. I don't know how to say her name properly, but I feel like she probably goes through a little
That's
bit of that.
facts.
Even though she's not all the way like front forward sexy, she just is a grown woman and she's sexy. And I guess everybody has to kind of like go through that phase when they come in as kids. Sex is always a tool to sell more. Well, look, if you
The way it
sell it,
happens in America.
if you got something to sell, then why not use your tools? And that's what I think about that. I mean, I just think it's a double standard. Not even just men versus women, but just different races, different sizes. I feel like we're willing to accept things until we're not, and then we have all the words, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole point of me bringing that up. Now let's get into this ready to love business.
Okay.
I'm laughing because I don't even know why I did that. I need these notes. I have
Look at
so many
Monique.
things to say. Every time I see half naked Chloe, I think about her dad. Like, no, don't let him see this. Look, she's gonna have to have those conversations with him. I think about that too. I'm not gonna lie. I think about that too, and I think about her mom. But I see her picture with her mom, and I think these are probably conversations that they must have. She also has a younger brother, and I'm sure that he's not happy going to school or wherever he's going. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are, beating off to my sister. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Sorry. No, listen. I'm sorry, Pastor.
Oh
Pastor,
my
hopefully you're not
goodness.
watching this. But
He
you know
never
what?
made good
It's
come out of his
life.
mouth, guys.
I don't know. But it's life. And I mean, like, if that's how she feels comfortable expressing herself, then cool. Like, it's a blessing. Like, she's not always going to look like that either. So it's like, let her enjoy it. And, certainly when I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any sort of weigh in on whether she should or shouldn't. I feel like if it's a natural expression and that's how she feels and that's how she wants to be, then it's not like some horrible, disrespectful thing to witness. It's just her performing, and she should be allowed to do that like others were.
It
That's what I
also
think.
depends on how you view sexy. You know what I mean? Like how you process that.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Because I mean, it could be another situation where it's a like a mom that's like sexy, and then her son is
Mm.
like older, and so it's like, okay, his friends are gonna be looking at her like your mom.
Hey,
You
your
know what I mean?
mom, dog. She
So
can
I guess
get it.
it just depends on how you view it or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna listen to the song when we get off of here though.
Yeah, it's a good song. I don't want that to overshadow the work that went into that song. It's a good song. I mean, the words are cute. I think the words are good too. And we're gonna get off this. We got to talk about Ready to Love, but the
Yes, we do
words
have
are
to talk
good
about
too.
it.
It's not like something derogative that people be saying in their songs. It's like treat me how I treat me. I think that's a good thing for people to be going around humming to themselves, especially if they're dating. Like treat me how I treat me, and I do all right. And so it's like, yeah, treat me how I treat me. Like I think that's a good thing. It's a very catchy song. It's a good work of, it's a good work to put out there. It's not some trash, but if you really get into the vocals and you get into that third segment of the song where she is really just showing us what, her expression creatively
Okay.
is. Okay, so I'll get off that. Let's talk about
Yeah,
Ready
check
to
it out.
Love. Yeah, you can check it out. It's really
Well,
good.
all right. So I did my recap, and I'm just really ready to see like how this all pans out. Like we're nearing the part where we're getting to the reunion. I don't know what's going on because I don't know. They tried to mesh one scene with another scene. There was a scene where, like, that scene where Dakia and Carmen and Joy were watching Sabrina and Demetrius, and
Yeah.
then they showed Donovan, but Carmen was standing right beside him. So I'm like, okay, what else did y'all tamper with? So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. What do you think?
Yeah, so I did catch your recap, which I loved. I be agreeing with so much you say. I have to go back and retract my statement from last week.
What?
When I said, "Oh, well, Takia should have known," and
Oh.
all this, because then I got to see the scene with her and Clifton, and he did take some responsibility for that.
He
I
apologized.
didn't necessarily hold him accountable for that at first, but I do understand now. When there's feelings involved, you are responsible for your part in that. When somebody gets sort of like attached to you, hooked in, and you were a two-way street in that, like, yeah, you do have to tread lightly with that sort of thing, because you're just engaging people. And then she even said on her date with Paul, like, oh, now my guard's back up because I trusted people they shouldn't have. And that sucks, but I do think Paul is time enough for her. What I thought about, okay, let me just tell you this. I got some notes for Own. Okay, because Own, I want you to do better. I expect more out of you. I realize that I'm only disappointed because I thought you were going to do better. And and yeah, there are some mishaps. Number one, we can see you behind the curtain. Like, come on. Not
Yeah.
even like the cameras, like it's not like I can see the cameras, but like when you're switching those scenes out and you showing something that didn't already happen, or you're showing something that doesn't make sense and we're confused, like we're smart. We're gonna think about it. We're gonna figure out that there's some fuckery. And then
Yeah.
the idea, okay, so this is another thing that's a little bothersome. Listen, what time did the show come on? Because I want to know, because I want to make sure I have my popcorn ready. There was a whole thing last season where I couldn't find the show on no network. I even logged into like Verizon.
So
I
it comes
logged into
on
the
Fridays
YouTube
at 8.
Nation. Listen, but when I look for the show, first of all, the seasons were off for a long time. They probably
Yeah.
still are. And then
Yeah,
when
I
I was
don't know.
looking for the show last Friday, as we sat down to dinner, me and James, we couldn't find it. We're like, oh, it doesn't come on this week. Oh man. And then later on we found it. And I'm like, wait a minute, what
What
day
time
is
were
it?
y'all looking for it?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know,
I
but
usually watch it early on Discovery Plus,
we
but
were on Discovery Plus.
they
When
didn't.
is it
Oh, you know what?
available?
They may have just added it late on Discovery Plus, because I
I
ended up
need
watching
somebody to
it.
fix that.
I watched it when it aired, but I didn't watch it early like I normally do.
I
So
need somebody to fix that. And maybe they have a 4-day work week. So
I
anyway.
know, Monique. Why don't they just? You so funny. I know, Monique. Why don't they just show us what actually happened? Like, it's so frustrating to, like. That's why, like, when I do my reviews, I just do my reviews on what I saw or whatever, because I mean, you can't really go down a rabbit hole and be like, well, maybe this and maybe that with everything. So I don't know. It's really kind of taken away the excitement that I had when I first started watching the show.
Yeah.
And so I hope that I don't know what else they can do to salvage this season, but I hope that the next season is a little bit better.
Perhaps they're just getting to the bottom of the barrel because people have made their connections or not, and they're trying to make a storyline. I'm just going to give them the benefit of the
Yeah,
doubt.
just
Just let me go into these cast members. I love every single last one of these people. Before I even say anything, I just have
Oh
to
Lord,
say,
what is she about to say?
well, except for one. I don't love this person, but I love everybody. So first of all, I realized I also misspoke last week because I was like, oh, so sorry to see Tori go, or something like that I must have said. And then it only dawned on me this week when I watched the show, and I was like, oh, they didn't even vote him off yet. I just already had voted him off the island before they even voted him
I
off.
don't even
Because I was
remember
like,
you
are they
saying that.
replaying this? So I think I did say
That's
that because
funny.
in my mind, I was like, oh, he's got to be gone because they're not going to vote off Paul. Well, I was right. So it's fine.
Yeah,
But
you were right about that.
I was sad to see him go because I felt like, well, I mean, of the guys that are left, I think it was appropriate that he was the one to go. Well, partly because I'm going to get into Sabrina a little bit in a second, but
Okay.
partly because, like, really, let me switch gears here. What are you doing, Tina? Like, why did you even come to the thing? I feel like a producer must have made her show up because there was no point in her being there. after she had missed basically the whole weekend. Like, why did you even show up? And then like people couldn't even hold the disgust off their faces.
Like, I think that the way that they, I hate to say this, but like they basically edited the fuck out of the whole situation. It was like the conversation she had with Donovan was really not saying much or whatever. And so I don't know what the hell. I don't know whether they told her to show up or make an appearance or whether she was there and they just edited her out. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
I
like,
gotta go
what
back and
was
see
the
what Kamisha said
point?
because I can't
And
remember.
then she ghosted Tommy. She
See,
ghosted
and
nephew
I
Tommy.
feel so like I got trust issues. I really want to say that too, but then I'm like, did they just make it seem like she ghosted
You
Tommy?
think
Because who
they
ghosted
doctored
Tommy?
that?
I don't know, because why wouldn't she at least tell the person that she, I don't know. I don't know, man. This is the thing. That's why
Okay.
I'm mad at the whole show.
Right.
It got me fucking sitting here like, I don't know what's going
I
on.
don't know what's going
So,
on. No, I feel you. You're right. That is a really good point. We might not know what we think we know. Because what I witnessed, I felt like she's just trickery. Like she's just out here, you know, I don't know what her goal would be to even join the cast if she's not
see,
going to
I
show
don't
up.
know because, okay, think about it in these terms, right? Okay, they're being filmed when they go on these dates, but at the end of the day, it's some shit that's extra in your day, right? So I'm
Yeah.
doing whatever I'm doing. Oh, I got this date today or whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna go. And then if you feeling some type of way, like as a mother of a young baby, right? I was thinking about this. I was like, if I was irritated and I was supposed to go somewhere, at some point I probably would start looking at it like, well, I ain't about to go leave my. You want me to just leave my daughter here and just go to fuck around with y'all, and I don't even fuck with y'all, and y'all don't even fuck with me? Like that would have been a
Yeah.
situation that I could see making in the midst of it all, just because it's like now I gotta make. It's not just me sitting here, right? It's I'm about to leave my child to be out here fucking around with y'all with
But
no outcome.
But if that's the case, then that's when you say goodbye. That's
Well,
when
I
you're
think
like, you
that's
know
what
what, this
happened.
isn't true. But like, why would she even show up to say, like,
But
I
that's
don't
what
even
I'm
know if I'm
saying. Like,
interested in anyone?
if because she left and she said it was toxic, I got to go back and watch her interview that
Yeah,
she
I
did with
guess I did
Kamisha
too.
because she did probably mention that, and but I can't say what because I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. But
Well, I felt like she was playing with everybody because the idea that everyone else made time and she joined the cast saying that she was interested in finding someone and she kind of led a
well,
couple of
yeah, it
those
could have been
passes.
a spot that
She
somebody else
led
could have took.
on at least two people. I don't know if Demetrius was even really into her at all, but Donovan, I feel, was interested in her, and I think Paul was interested in her. And here's why I say that: because they were clearly irritated when she didn't show up, and then she did, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what the fuck you expect me to do?" Like they were irritated.
That is exactly how they was. Oh
Hello.
my god.
So that lets me know that they were truly invested in her and were disgusted by her lack of,
Yeah, I definitely think Paul was interested in her or
taking it
whatever.
seriously. And he's like, I'm not even going. And I felt him completely in that moment. I was like, you really looking like the uncle right now because you're just not
Yeah,
about this bullshit. So anyway,
yeah, he did look like the uncle there.
at least Donovan did go up and have that conversation with her, and he didn't even make it comfortable for her. He kept it super awkward. Like, yeah, we're
He
sitting
was,
on the bed that I had sex with Carmen in last night.
bruh.
Say
Oh my
that.
goodness.
Okay, that was an ad lib. I'm so sorry. I don't
But
have
I
sex with
did
this like
say,
that.
why are they on the
They were
same
in
bed
there
that they
like
slept in? You know what I'm saying? That
I'm
whole
just
thing was
saying.
wild.
I'm just saying, obviously we know what happened
And
there.
see, that be the fucked up shit that production do because I'm sure that if she wasn't there, she didn't know who slept in the bed in the room that they were in, right?
Right.
And
And she's
now
sitting
watching
right on
it
the
back on
bed.
TV, and you motherfucker had me go in there and talk to this dude,
Listen.
and they slept
Listen.
in that bed. Like,
Let me
how?
tell you
Why?
something. And even the look on his
Oh,
face, the look on his face was one of it. It's like bugbear juices. Lord, jeez. Listen, the look on his face was one of indignance. Like, yeah, I did it, and you're just proving to me why I did it because you weren't here, and I'm just up here because you told me to come up here. Like, why are you even bringing me around? Like, you should have just came in the door and been like, "Hey, everybody, I'm sorry I wasted all your time before, but I'm out.
so
Thank you
that's
so
where I'm
much
like,
for the
it just
friendship."
how awkward was it? Like, because my thing is like They had to know she was coming before she walked up because
Yeah, of
it's
course
a
they
big ass
did.
driveway or whatever. I don't know. I gotta go back and watch that video or
Anyway,
whatever because
I just
but my whole complaint was that the house was surrounded by water and trees and
mm.
greenery. Like, why are we up here in this bedroom? Why are we not just walking outside by the water? Like, that was
I don't
ridiculous.
know. I don't know. I don't know if that was a Donovan decision or a production decision, but
Yeah, true.
she just shouldn't have come there. Okay, let me get into my next talk because I only have two more on this show and it might spark something out of you. Sabrina on this season, she's, she's doing a lot. I feel like she's I don't know if she's ready to love. Like, I think she's a beautiful girl. I think she's I think she's a firecracker, but I feel like she's like looking for like the sampler platter. She's just looking at everybody like what they can give to her, and I don't feel like she's looking at making any compromises or what she could be, what she could grow into. I think she's just like, well, you don't have this and that's not to my liking, and you don't have this and that's not to my
Yeah.
liking. I feel like she's looking for like to sample on the sampler platter. It doesn't really seem like she's serious about anybody, because I feel like, all right, here's the judgment. I feel like Tori would have been a really good choice for her. I don't even know Tori, guys, so like don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like Tori would have been a really good match for her because she, it sounds like she wants somebody to like chase her a little bit and then wrestle her down and then tell her how beautiful she is and then put up with her attitude and then still be there when she leaves and comes back. Like, she seems like that type of girl to me. And I don't think Demetrius is about to do all that.
Well, I
And
definitely don't think Demetrius is about to do all that. And I think that she's scared. And I think that she basically made like it's one thing to be like, okay, well, I got some standards and here they are. But then now you're
now nobody's good enough.
wanting this. Yeah, it's like, okay, y'all still like human, right? But I think Tori would have been a good fit with her, but just too many things happen in order they happened in or whatever. But at the same time, if she's not ready to love, then he probably really wasn't the person for her to mess with or whatever.
Yeah.
Monique says she's ready for attention.
Yeah. Now there's a real statement. I think so too. And I don't think there's a dig on her or whatever, but I just feel like she's not like suited and booted for love, because I don't feel like that's what she's looking for. I think she's looking for, I don't know what she's looking for, but I think if you were looking for love, then you would have been intentional about it and you would have seen it and you would have made appropriate.
I mean, because I feel like Demetrius was never it. I think that when she told him that she wanted to see more, he was like, "Oh well, I'm not going to do that." So, I mean, like, he was dead serious. He looks like the asshole of a dude that would just be like, "Oh,
yeah, and like we knew that. So first of all, he is the early bird special. Like, you listen, guys, you get a steak and a potato for $8.99. It's not gonna be tender. It's not gonna be hot. You know what I'm saying? It's $8.99. You take it and you leave
Noelle
it.
says she's not even all that to be acting so judgy.
Well,
That's an
people,
interesting point of view
that's
from a
a
man.
that's a whole nother topic. I would agree with that, but I do feel like, people made her think that, and so,
Right.
so is it real or is it not? Okay, so last thing I want to say about this is that okay, well, there's a couple of things. I'm not going to talk about the whole. Listen, I feel like Carmen got messy a little bit, and the Carmen and the Kia thing. Paul's face threw me. Hilarious. I felt like it was unnecessary for. Listen, Carmen is really funny. I feel like she's the funny girl out of the group of girls. If she has a group of girls, I'm not really sure she has any girlfriends, really, but for real. But if you were a group of girls and Carmen's there, like, she's a good time. And I did appreciate her taking Christina out and checking on her. I felt like that was genuine. But I also feel like, yeah, she's a little bit messy and she didn't have to say all that stuff. Even if Paul did say it, which I don't think he did say it like that, but even if he did, there was no benefit for her to reveal that to Dakia or to say anything of the like.
Yeah, and I think that, yeah, you're right. And at first I was like, okay, well, if she wouldn't have said it, if she wouldn't have said these things, then they would not have her on camera saying these things. So it's like they really got a
Hello,
lot of a lot of moments
footage.
when she's saying something like that. And that it was, basically she was trying to hit Paul for saying that what he said about her. He said she wasn't intentional. She was trying to ding him, and the kid was collateral damage.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a good look. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't a good look for anybody, and the dudes looked real blown that they
Yeah.
were sitting there, and even some of the women looked real blown.
I mean,
And
yeah, but to
Sabrina
be
looked
honest,
blown, and Joy looked blown.
but you know damn well, like, it's only so much you can say before I say something back. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the kid probably shouldn't have been, like, engaged or whatever, but what am I supposed to do? Just sit here and let her talk the shit, and I don't know how y'all gonna edit it. Like, I want to see the whole conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of whole conversations, so first of all,
Hey,
let me point out Noel's comment. He says the highlight of the episode was Carmen and Dakia arguing over Paul. Carmen is not ready to love. What an insightful comment. I'm not sure either way, but I mean, she's not ready to love Paul for sure. She doesn't hung that up. But I will say this. I feel like we're just going to have to see where these connections go, because some people just ready to do it. And then some people are like, sometimes it takes you to get right up to the line and realize you're not ready to jump. And I feel like a couple of those people got caught up, which brings me to listen,
which is crazy.
Go ahead.
No, which is crazy because it's not ready to get married. Like, we're just trying to see if we're going to be able to build something after this. We met here and we're open to love. What are we going to do going forward? And it's so crazy because, I mean, it's not like you can't decide to date and then a month or two later be like, oh, well, we decided it wasn't working. Okay.
Yeah.
You know
And this is like a put together show. So I get it that, you're not always ready. You're not always ready to go on pace with the premiere of the show type of thing. I like Ellen's comment too about, that would have been a turn off for, if I was Donovan, I would have definitely been turned off by that whole Carmen and Dakia situation. Because I would have been like, oh, is this how you do? And he even made a comment like, that was really childish, right? So I don't know if he was really specifically talking to her or about her or the situation, but it wasn't a good situation. Okay, last thing that I want to talk about is Joy and Clifton.
Listen, Clifton better not fuck this money up. That's all I'm saying.
Let me
I
tell
didn't
you
like
something.
what he had to say, but he better not mess this up.
I'm hoping and praying and wishing that was just part of their conversation. Like, listen, it's not something that is the worst thing to say, like, oh, let's just see where this goes or whatever. But he didn't say it like that either. But it's just like, we're too far along for you to be not having some really specific intentions. I'm not saying like get down on your knee and propose, but I felt like with the heavy words that they were having, like, oh yeah,
damn near
this
wanting
is
to say I love
more
you.
than like,
right.
and all that. It just seems like you would be able to come up with a more focused intention than, yeah, let's see where this goes. And those weren't his real, verbatim words, but I mean, it kind of gave me that vibe. I'm just like, well, what are you really doing? Like, do you have something going on? Like, but they don't seem like that. It seems like they're really connected, and I hope that's what the case is. But that didn't really give me.
Yeah, but you're right. They could have
switched some stuff around.
That or
whatever. No, I don't know if it's own or whatever, but anyway, those are our thoughts, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so are you going to review Love and Marriage DC with me? We're doing that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, it starts in May. Did you watch The Ultimatum?
No.
Okay, I need you to watch that on Netflix.
Okay. I will do that. Let me write that down.
Yes, it's a little. You got to get past episode 1 and 2, but it's very interesting, and maybe we can talk about that next week if you watched it. We can.
I will.
Thoughts on that, because that's a whole another thing. And my Lee voice is ghetto. Anyway,
I'm gonna do my homework. I'll be prepared.
Okay. As usual, I love our conversations. You made me kind of woosah from my day at work and traffic or whatever. Now I'm about to go ahead and have a great night and prepare my dinner or whatever. And I worked out today, so I'm proud of myself.
Oh, good for you. I'm going to get on your level.
I did it this morning, and it was a good look because I usually like to be in the gym by myself here in my apartment complex, but there was this girl in there earlier, and then another girl came in there, and it's not a small gym, but it's not big, and so it was just like, and then I had to be like, you know what, we're all fucking getting our bodies together. That's right. Let's do
we're trying
this,
to work
right?
out. Yeah.
So it was tight, but anyway, so we're gonna work on some other things for next week, and we need to work on something else that I want us to do or whatever I have to talk to you about. But I want to thank you guys for coming by. Y'all gonna be late, but Dina's doing Snowfall, unless y'all are already over there. And then Lead with the T and Mod Afro Mama have an interview with Camille right now on both of their channels. You can go to either Lead with the T or you can go to Mod Afro Mama, and they are interviewing Camille from last season. So that should be interesting. So
I'm going
anyway,
over there now.
Yes. So we will see y'all next week. Thank you all for coming by. And I will talk to y'all when we do our next video.